Libra, hello, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising as you move through your week. Libra, what messages do we have for Libra? We see peace coming out. We see to be fair, very Libra energy in that card. Anything else here for Libra? That one wanted to come out. I feel like that's it. One more. Okay, that one flew on the floor. Okay, fork in the road, of course. Libra has to make a decision, and it needs to be fair, and the one that fell on the floor was new life. Okay, Libra, stakes are, feels like the stakes are high here. What are we doing here, Libra? We've got two cards in sequence, so you're moving towards something indeed. Card 38 and 39. You're moving towards something designed to bring you to peace. It's going to be fair. You have to be fair too. And it feels like you have to make a decision. Card 13 here and card 23, peace. So it's almost like choose the path that's going to lead to your inner peace, because that's what's fair and it will lead to a new life. I feel like Libra has got to do something unconventional. Bottom of the deck is by the book. Doesn't matter if it's in reverse or not, by the book. So that says to me, card 11 here, that you're going to take an unconventional path. You're not taking the conventional or traditional pathway that has been taken maybe by your family or your friends or the people around you or the advice you're even being given that's very traditional or conventional. I feel like you're at a fork in the road because there's something that's taking away your sense of inner peace, and you just want things to be in balance, to be fair. You just want things in balance so that you can feel good and peace, inner peace. I feel like new life is coming out here because I feel like you're going to make some big changes here with fork in the road. Perhaps you're going to take the path that you've always been afraid of. Maybe you're going to choose the path in the forest that's the dimly lit path that looks a little overgrown, and every time you walk past it, you're like, oh man, I wonder what's at the end of that path. I think you might be going for it, but it's not the conventional path. It's not the path everyone takes. In fact, it's probably the path that is the lesser taken path, right? It's the one that you would sort of be pioneering, Libra. It's interesting. You are a cardinal sign. You go first. You're bold, yeah? And so it's interesting. Let's see, where is Libra in the present moment right now? King of Cups in reverse. Okay, King of Cups is our Scorpio energy. It's in reverse because I think you're not wanting to wear your heart on your sleeve. You don't want people to know how you feel. You're not comfortable being vulnerable right now. It's like you don't want to lose your upper hand. It's a Scorpio energy. And so it's sort of like you're feeling a lot of stuff, but you're not talking about it. It's in reverse. So you're denying your own feelings, maybe to yourself or maybe just to someone else. Your obstacle here, 6 of Pentacles, which is another card that always makes me think of Libra, even though the 6 of Pentacles is Taurus. It's sort of this, it's a different energy than Libra, but I think it's because of the balance in it, the balanced give and take. You don't feel like there's a balanced give and receive in whatever you're dealing with right now. You might even feel like you're in sacrifice, or that you're sacrificing, or that someone else is making sacrifices for you. It's interesting. There's give and receive dynamics here that are out of balance, and also this emotional, like, I don't want you to know how I feel. Maybe you don't trust this person. Maybe you don't trust these people. Maybe the situation you find yourself in, you feel guarded. You feel guarded, and you don't think things are in balance. Things are not fair, right? To be fair is here. Both cards imply here that there's something about things needing to be in balance, things needing to be fair in order for you to keep choosing this path. Otherwise, I think you're going to choose a new path, which is going to lead to a new life, and it won't be a traditional path. You might end up sort of being on your own for the first time, or you might find yourself, in a situation that's unfamiliar to you. Let's see here. What is top of mind for Libra in this situation? Ooh, fell on the floor. All your cards are falling on the floor. 7 of Swords. So what's top of mind for you, Libra? Man, you just want to cut and run. Look at that. This fellow is an interesting fellow. The story of this fellow is basically, in some stories, is that he just killed the king. I'm not suggesting that you just killed anybody, but he's trying to get away. He just wants to run from this. He's not interested in sort of anyone discovering what he's done, and he's not interested in being accountable. He just wants to leave. When I see this card, I often think, what are you trying to run away from? Because it's just too intense to deal with. Not because you're a murderer, but because you don't want to face something. It could even just be a conversation that you don't want to have. It could be a time in your life where you're at that fork in a road and you're saying, you know, this situation's never coming into balance, so I'm out of here. And I don't even want to talk about it. I'm leaving 2 swords behind even because I can't wait to get out of this situation. So I'm just going to grab what I can and get out of here. And it's interesting. That tells me that you don't like where you are right now, that you don't feel like you have inner peace in this situation. So you'll leave almost by whatever means necessary, as long as you don't have to talk about your feelings or talk about anything, really. You don't even want to have a conversation about this. You just want to tiptoe and leave before anyone wakes up. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're plotting your escape a little bit here, Libra, I think. Let's see here. What's driving this reading? What's at the root of this reading? What's the base of the matter here? The Queen of Swords, which is Libra. Libra, this is about you. What do you want? She's very certain, the Queen of Swords. Sometimes she can be described as cold and cutting because she's so certain with what she knows to be true or fair. This is interesting. Libra, I can't help but think you just want to go. And you need something to be about you right now. And that's what is driving this reading. This is about you and your new life. And how you're going to find it and how you're going to get there and what path you're going to take to have that new life, right? You need to pick a road to take. And I think what's motivating you right now is I don't mean this I think this is actually excellent, to be motivated by yourself. You're not thinking about how this is going to impact others, because I think you've done that a lot when I see the 6 of Pentacles. I think you've spent a lot of time thinking about how is this going to affect so-and-so and so-and-so? But how is it affecting you, right? We have a duty to put ourselves first sometimes, because if you keep putting other people ahead of you, where's your inner peace? Where's your happiness? Then you're constantly sacrificing yourself for others. And we have a duty to ourselves as well, right? And I feel like you're starting to sort of think in that way. And some people may even be accusing you of being cold. But I actually think it's not cold. It's just you're determined to stand up for yourself. But it's interesting. You don't want to be vulnerable. You're not interested in anyone saying or knowing how you really feel and knowing how sensitive you are. You would rather them see you as this cold, sort of decisive, certain steel sword rather than a cup of fragile emotions. You know, it's interesting. It's like you don't want people to know how sensitive you are, but I feel like you're very sensitive. But you're not interested in exposing that right now. Maybe because you're not feeling like you trust where you're at, or it's not in balance because it's always being sacrificed. What are the past energies here? Past energies is Queen of Rods in reverse. So you're done. Like even in the past you were done. The Queen of Rods is an energy of sort of even seeking revenge, not being open, not warm, not giving, but almost like You know, it's interesting. The archetype for the Queen of Wands when she's in reverse is sort of like, think about some of the Disney movies where there was like a wicked stepmother, right? Or a queen that did mean things to the princess, but then at the end of the Disney movie you find out that she actually had it really rough, and that's why she was like that, you know? This is an energy of someone who is impulsively trying to get what they want, but I often think the Queen of Wands is wounded when she's in reverse, right? She's not able to be warm and compassionate and sort of have this soul fire that carries her through whatever she's doing or working on or creating or manifesting. But rather it's almost like this, I'm gonna get you energy, you know? I can almost hear, like in the Little Mermaid, the what was her name? What was the octopus lady's name? I can't remember now. Ursula, right? Like, I'm gonna get you. I'll get you, my pretty. That's this. So in the past, I feel like you've been feeling like this for a while. That's what that tells me. You've been feeling like this for a while, and it's building and building and building and building, and now who knows what you will do, right? Because you've got a lot stored up from the past about this being unfair and not being in balance and wanting to leave. Wow, that's a lot to carry, Libra. What are the future energies? Future energies Four of Cups. This is interesting. In the future, it's almost like you're going to be wondering if you missed an opportunity, or if there was, this is sort of that energy of sort of thinking shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, I wish I had, if only I had. So it's almost like coming up, you're sort of going to be distracted by thinking about what decisions, you know, if only I had done so-and-so in the past, then this outcome wouldn't be here today. Well, you have no idea. Perhaps this outcome was fated. There's really no point in sort of thinking about the past in a way that says, I wish I had done the following instead. You know, that can be, well, because there's nothing you can do about it, right? All you can do is do that now. Whatever it is that you're thinking, like, let's say, for example, you're like, I wish I had traveled more before I had kids. I'm just making something up. Maybe that'll resonate for somebody. Well, there's nothing you can do about that now. You can't go back in time and travel before you had kids. All you can do is try and travel now. You know, if traveling is something that's important to you and you feel like you've lost the opportunity to do it, create the opportunity. Don't just sit in the sad pool of saying, I wish I had. Do it now. And I feel like that's what's happening with Fork in the Road. Is if there's something that you feel you wish you had done in the past, you can still do it. As long as you're still here, you can give it some energy now. So that's an interesting upcoming energy for you. The bottom of the deck, I just peeked at it, and it's the Strength card in reverse. So that tells me that confidence is a factor here. You may have lost some of your confidence along the way, because since the past, you've been feeling sort of a lot of stuff that you haven't, it's gone unspoken. It's almost like you were holding in a lot of stuff and not talking about it. And it was building and building and building. And now it's almost out of scope. It's so huge now because it's like the past, right? It's all rooted in the past. That's tricky. It's tricky. Okay, what is the best guidance here for Libra? Best guidance. Okay, 2 cards. I'm giggling because of the moon is one of the cards that came out, which can sort of leave you feeling more energy that you don't see. But it's in reverse. So that tells me that you might not be paying attention to your intuition right now. You might just be thinking about this logically. It makes sense. You're an air sign, so that's where you go, right? You go into the mind and you start to think. But see, in the Five of Swords here, nobody leaves a winner in the Five of Swords. Everyone leaves this beach a little bit broken. And it's like nobody wins here. And this is a time where we sometimes have to accept things that are difficult to accept. And again, I can't remember if I said this for someone's, who did I say this in? Anyway, I said this in another reading just recently where, we have 3 choices, generally speaking, when it comes to situations that we're not sure what to do about. Usually you have 3 choices. You either change it, accept it, or leave it, right? That may be too general, but I'm intentionally being general so that it makes it clearer, right? You're at a fork in the road. So which one is it? Are you going to change it, accept it, or leave it? It's up to you. I feel like your intuition has guidance for you, but you may be resisting it. There is a part of you that's having a difficult time with accepting something. So then you're left with leave it or change it. If you can't change it, Libra, and you can't accept it, you got to think about yourself here, right? You got to think about whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. Okay, I'm not trying to be too lectury here, but I almost feel like that's what this reading is guiding me to say. And if there is something that you feel intuitively, give it some space. What is this message, right? There is something here that you might be denying to yourself. Very interesting reading for you, Libra. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this, and I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends.